Sean Hines from West Vine Bungalows HOA hides in his bushes on the day the Fort Collins SWAT force attacked Neil Brooks. Did Fort Collins Police Services instruct Hines to photograph Neil Brooks watering his tree? Or was this a setup devised by the HOA? So you're pulling weeds, watering the lawn, SWAT team shows up?
Well, on that day, which was June 7th of 2012, that was the day I was going to work on the tree. And I had bought tree spikes, fertilizer spikes, and I went outside and I pounded in the spikes. And then you have to saturate the grass and the tree. So I uncoiled the garden hose with the pistol in my right slash pocket, and I walked down toward the front strip of grass where the tree was, and I started watering the tree. And I was outside for a total of probably 5 minutes. And the board of directors, Vice President Sean Hines, we now know, was hiding behind his house with the 8-power telephoto lens and shooting through his trees, and got pictures of me standing there watering the tree. Problem was, I hadn't used this nozzle before, and the nozzle was leaking like a sieve, and water was just running all the way down my arm, down my side, and down onto this handgun. So within the span of about 45 seconds, I took the garden hose and nozzle from my right hand and transferred it to my left hand. I took the handgun out of its little holster, the slash pocket. I held it alongside my thigh with my finger nowhere near the trigger. I set the garden hose down and let it just run. I turned around. I walked back into my house. I dried the gun off. I set the gun on the kitchen table. I went back out of the house. I turned the hose off. I reeled the hose back in, and I went inside. About 3 hours later, the phone rang, and there was nobody there. But I looked at the caller ID and said, that's strange, and I Googled the caller ID phone number, and it was the Fort Collins Emergency Notification phone number. And I called and I said, is everything okay? Something going on? No problem. Okay, thanks. About 20 minutes later, I heard a public address system, a bullhorn, with my name and my address, and this is the Fort Collins Police Department. Come out with your hands up. And I came out with my hands up. And what I saw was probably 24 Fort Collins Police, Larimer County Sheriff, Larimer County SWAT team, all in full tactical riot gear, all pointing weapons at me. To my left, I saw what I now know is called the Bearcat, a little tank, a little armored vehicle. And what I saw across the street that I can't get out of my mind is the kind of colorful glint where the sun is reflecting off the glass of a sniper's rifle scope. They had a tank pointed at me. They had 24 guns pointed at me, and they had a sniper's rifle scope against a guy that had never committed a crime, never hurt anybody, never threatened anybody, never broken the law. They told me to drop to my knees. I dropped to my knees. They handcuffed me, and they took me away.